Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to another deck profile. And as you can guess, it is another Blue Eyes deck profile. And this is my last deck profile before Battle of Chaos, which comes out in 2 weeks. February 5th, I will have the cards for Battle of Chaos, so be prepared for that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into the last variation of the Blue Eyes deck that I do have. And this is one that's coming straight out of the box, the way it is. And I will show you every lovely card that is in this deck. As you can see, my Dracoublion is on the top. So we're going to go ahead and put this side deck to the side and we will get right to it. I'll be right back once I get these cards sorted, so just hold tight just a minute. Alright, I am back. Now I've got it sorted. We'll get right to the deck profile. Of course, as always, if you're going to play Blue Eyes, run 3 of the Beast. Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a Blue Eyes engine. You're not going to be doing very well if you don't have 3 of the Beast himself, Blue Eyes White Dragon. So make sure that you are using 3 of Blue Eyes White Dragon. For now, I'm still running the 3 Blue Eyes alternatives. I could still ditch them to the graveyard and get True Light to pick them up there. So we're still going to run 3 because he's very, very useful for that. In case if one gets banished as well, we're going to run 1 Dragon Spirit of White. Dragon Spirit of White is a very good card. He's an iffy one that I'm still holding on to. I'm still running 1 Blue Eyes Solid Dragon. Solid is still very good for getting Blue Eyes out of the deck and negating a monster's effect, so I like him for that. We're still going to run 1 Abyss at the moment. Abyss is very good. It's really good for adding polymerization, a ritual spell, or a high level monster like the next one I have, which I didn't have in the last deck profile in the last 2. Deep Eyes White Dragon. Deep Eyes White Dragon is dependent on your opponent. Your best play is to add it with Abyss and then put on Blue Eyes like a decoy and let it get destroyed. Hopefully you got alternative in the graveyard, because then Deep Eyes can really go off. And of course, we're still running Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. Blue Eyes Shining Dragon is a very good Blue Eyes monster. Very hard to get on for some people, but not for me. I've used it multiple times in big high-level tournaments. And for the last one, which is another new one I put in here and is very, very handy if you've seen it before I laid it down, it is Blue Eyes Chaos Max. I have found a way to run it in this engine, and with Abyss here, he can get Blue Eyes Chaos Max and the ritual spell, which is what he was designed for originally. And with that, that's all the Blue Eyes monsters I run in the main deck. We're going to run 3 of the Sage. Still running 3 of the Sage. Currently, I don't run the Maiden or the Master anymore. I had to make room. I'd say they'll end up back in this thing by the end of it. But yes, the Sage is here for now, until I decide, I need other monsters, which we'll get to that in a minute. I'm running 3 Whitestone of Ancients. Of course, this is always your Blue Eyes go-to. I always end up saging this and getting 2 for 1 out of it, so it's very good for doing that. And unfortunately, it is the end phase that the Blue Eyes monster comes out. So normally you'll go to like Abyss, because all of its effects are during the end phase, or let's say your Spirit of White or your Solid. Very good for getting that. Still running 2 copies of Nebula. Nebula sets up your Xyz plays. Of course, you have to have this if you're going to run a Blue Eyes engine with Xyz plays, so I use it for that. And now we're going to get to the spells that are in this deck. Of course, I'm a big Bingo Machine Go guy, so definitely run 3 of Bingo Machine Go. You can never go wrong there, because you will get what you're looking for 90% of the time if you run it like this. Now, if you don't, then it's on you. Of course, we're running Blue Eyes Chaos Max, so we're now going to run the Chaos form. Chaos form is very pullable with almost every card in the deck. I'm not going to say every card. Of course, if you're going to run it the way that I do, it's got to be a powerhouse. So with your powerhouse, we're going to run 3 Piercing the Darkness, as I do. It's a very good card. It's a draw engine also, so it's 2 for 1. This card will more than likely get popped, so currently trying to find ways to keep my spell from being popped. I'm in the process, so just give me time and I'll figure something out. I still only run 2 Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Not that I can't find a third, I just can't find a place to put it in my deck. And if I got a third, I don't think I would use it. So, got 2. Again, it's an if situation. Now this one's new. Okay, I'll tell you, this spell is new, and it is one of the best spells in my deck. And this is Fusion Deployment. Run Fusion Deployment in a 3. And get that Blue Eyes out immediately. I'm telling you, it's quick. You're going to run 2 Polymerization. Polymerization is your go-to until Ultimate Fusion comes out, and then they will be replaced with Ultimate Fusion, which is a great thing to have. And then we're going to run, for this variation, 1 Dragon's Mirror. You'll figure out why that card is in here in a minute. If you draw into it and you have it ready, you could use it, or there are other options you can use for it. So that is the last spell I use in this variation of the deck. Now with this, here comes the traps. Blue Eyes is a trap deck. You're going to run 3 True Light. 3 True Light can never go wrong there. This is like the card that you want if you can get it set. There are ways to keep this on. Well, to keep your monsters from being popped, I should say. Not keep it on, but there are ways to keep it on. I just don't feel like throwing it in here because I feel like I've got enough. We're going to run 1 Destined Rivals. Again, 1's good enough. Going to get monster effects. Pretty good there. And we're going to run 1 Ultimate Creature of Destruction. Now, this card is very, very underrated and shouldn't be, because this card can literally make Blue Eyes untouchable. And if you special summon another one while this card is in the graveyard, it'll come back and you can use it again, and then once it leaves that time, it's banished. So very good there. And now the 3, you already know what they are. If you've seen my other deck profiles, this is a Gravedigger's Trap Hole, a very, very good trap itself. So with that, that is the main deck of what it looks like. And don't be shocked, because the extra deck is different as well. And I'm telling you, it's different, because I have played a few tournaments and I've made a few adjustments to my deck. So we're going to run Twin Burst. Twin Burst is good because he can't be destroyed by battle, and if he fails to kill the monster, he can banish it. So very good there. We run 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. That's for a Shining play. Run 1 Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon, which is the best Blue Eyes card because it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also, it cannot be targeted by card effects. And we run 1 Blue Eyes Neo Ultimate. Neo Ultimate is a if situation again. It all just depends on if, not when. Just if. Now with Blue Eyes, again, we're still running the Synchro engine. So we run Azure Eyes and Spirit Dragon. Again, these are still staples in my deck, so I still use them to the best of my abilities. So they're good there, and the links are different. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to show you the links that I run. I run 5, and there's a reason that we run 5. Your first one is going to be your Link Karibo. Link Karibo, if you get the Sage or you get the White Stone of Ancients, just go into Link Karibo, and you know, the one thing that's going to pop it is a major monster effect. Now for this variation, this is a little different, and you guys might like this. Predaplant, Verte, and Conda. Remember the Dragon's Mirror? That's what that is for. It's for me to use the Dragon's Mirror for that. This is a new one as well. This is Flash Charge Dragon. Now, you guys see it. Allow me to read you its effect, and you'll figure out why. This is a Link 3. It is 2 dragon monsters. Says you cannot special summon set monsters to a zone this card points to, which it's on your opponent's side, so I don't have to worry about it. It says once per turn, if a monster is normal or special summoned to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, you can destroy 1 monster this card points to, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card, quick effect, you contribute 1 monster and negate the activation. So this card is big. Again, it's Flash Charge Dragon. I do use it quite frequently. Very good card. I love it because its effect is non-targeting because it depends on the location you put it in. So when it pops, it's not targeting because of it being in 3 different zones, which is great. And it has 2300 attack, which is also great. And if there's an effect that tries to pop it, you can distribute a monster, which is even better. So then, you know, my last 2, of course, the Darkness Metal Dragon of Dark Steel, which is good for getting Blue Eyes Ultimate back. And then my Boss Link monster, as you guys know him very well, the 5-headed Link Dragon, which is unaffected by every card effect. So there you go. That's all for my links. Now I think my Xyz monsters are pretty much the same. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. So one of my biggest is Hope Harbinger. Again, he is my ultimate bringer of destruction because of his negate ability. So I love him for that. I still run number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon. It's very good. He can get a few attack boosts, but not very many. I run number 100 Numeron Dragon, again for the FTK. You can get him off pretty quickly, especially with a empty board. And we run the boss himself, number 97 Dragooblion. Very good. My deck is very, very good, and it will continue to be very, very good. And give me a minute, and we will get everything set up, and I will show you a few combos. So give me just a minute. All right, here we go. We'll say we're going second. We'll go second for all of these so we can get 6 cards, and I can show you how to pop these off accordingly. Of course, yeah, we're setting up pretty good. So we got Dragon's Mirror, we got Sage, we got Melody, we got Fusion Deployment, Polymerization, and we got Solid. So this is pretty good. Like I said, this is gonna be upside down, you guys, but trust me, we'll be all right. Okay, so what we do first here is we're gonna activate the Melody, and we're gonna discard Solid. Now with Solid in the graveyard, we don't actually have a way to get him back. Well, what we are going to do here is, let's see what I got. Okay. So what we have to do is we're going to add Blue Eyes and 1 alternative. Got the deck. There we go. And we're going to add both of them to our hand. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to summon alternative that way. And then we're going to activate Fusion Deployment. Now how this card works is we're going to target Blue Eyes Twin Burst. How this works is Fusion Deployment. You reveal 1 fusion monster to your opponent. A card that is specifically on that card, which is Blue Eyes White Dragon as the material, we can now special summon straight from the deck. So here you go. You got Blue Eyes White Dragon as well. Now, the only thing you can get into this turn is your fusions. So this is what you're locked into. It's all you can get into. So just remember that. So what we can do here is go ahead and activate Polymerization on the 3. And this is if you're going for the FTK here. Remember, we're going for FTK here. So we're going to go into Blue Eyes alternative ultimate. So then what we're going to do is we're going to chain off of that with a dragon's mirror. And we are now going to banish 1, 2, and 3. If you go for FTK, if you got it. And you're going to go into Neo Ultimate. And with that, you're left with normal summoning the Sage to add a white stone, because it's the only other tuner that we're running in this deck. So now we have White Stone Ancients in our hand. If we would happen to go to a next draw, we draw into the Dragon Spirit of White. So basically, you're just going to normal this. So I don't think there's anything in the graveyard that we can... No, there's not. There's not. So what we do here is... Because your Predator Plant's basically useless, so... Basically just going to go into Linkaribo. Send it. Go in phase. In phase. We're going to go into Abyss. Just to make sure that we can pull off this FTK. Because we have Spirit of White, that's the whole reason we're doing it. So we're going to Abyss. Effect 1 will activate, adding Chaos Form. Effect 2 will activate, adding a level 8 or higher Dragon Monster. We're going to add Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Go ahead and cut that. So now we roll into our third turn. As you can see, we are pretty hard to overcome at this point, so we're going to go ahead and draw. And we have gotten into Magic. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go ahead and we are going to ditch. We're going to activate Chaos Form, send the Dragon Spirit of White, get into Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So you're like, yeah, that's a little fast for me. Well, here's the deal. 1, 2, and 3. Link those off. And we're going to get into our lovely Flash Charge. So now, not only do we have monsters, but now we have support. But here's the thing, we're not done. Because now we're going to activate Fusion Deployment again, and we're going to target Twin Burst again. And we're going to get into another Blue Eyes. There you go. We have no need to get into the extra deck. That Blue Eyes is the target for Flash. And so we go into the last turn of ours. And guess what? That is game, because every monster we have on the field was used with a normal monster. There you go. Now you see how this deck really works and how fast that this deck can operate. So we get into Piercing the Darkness. Used by a normal monster, used by a normal monster, is a normal monster, used by a normal monster. Because it was used with Dragon Spirit of White, which, if you read the Dragon Spirit of White, it says specifically on the card, this card is treated as a normal monster while in the hand or graveyard. And it is in the graveyard, so it is a normal monster, which means that we use a normal monster for that. So there you go. Because we did use it in the hand, and it is now a normal monster in the graveyard. So there you go. Now you know how fast this deck can flood. It doesn't take very long for us to get into what we're looking for, because that is why we run the Sage and the White Stone, and we don't really use the other ones now, because it's very fast. Like, you can use them with it and it will be quick. Just, I don't know if it's going to be running at this speed. So we'll go ahead and we'll do another run. Give me that. Yes, I do sort them. I have to make sure every time I play that these are in order, because if not, it gets on my nerves. I like to be able to get in my extra deck and it be sorted the way I want it, because we can. Okay, so now we're just going to lay out 6 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hopefully we didn't just pick up the same 6. We actually did, so let me shuffle this thing. Jesus Christ. We actually almost got this same exact hand. So as you guys know, this Blue Eyes deck is very, very quick, and I'm going over it very, very fast. We're only going to do 3 test hands today. 4 turns piece. That way you guys can get an idea of how to play this deck as it goes. Okay, so we should have a better hand now. Yeah, this is way better. Okay, so as you can see, we're not set up for game on the first turn this time, but we do have a great hand. So what we will do is we will normal summon the white stone. We will set true light, and we will activate Bingo Machine Go. Reason for that is we need Blue Eyes to our hand. So we're just gonna go ahead and add it because we're definitely getting it. So there we go. We got Blue Eyes in hand now. This is first turn. So with that, you can go ahead, and what I'm going to do, and what I always do when I'm in this situation, is we go into Link Karibo because we want a monster on that's going to be able to do something. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to end turn. During our opponent's turn, we will activate True Light. And off of the white stone, we will get into a Blue Eyes monster. This Blue Eyes monster is definitely going to be Abyss, so we can get effect 1 and effect 2 right away. So we can add Max, and we can add Chaos Form. And then what we're going to do with True Light, because now we got a hand looking like this, which is great, fantastic. When we activate True Light, we are going to set a trap. If I don't throw cards in here, Blue Eyes. Stop trying to jump out of the deck on me. Jesus Christ. So I'm trying to go quick. You're going to set the ultimate creature of destruction. And your Link Karibo is definitely going to die during the end phase. If it doesn't, then your opponent has bricked hard as shit. So we'll go end phase. We'll go to draw phase. We'll draw the polymerization. And what we will do is we'll go ahead and we'll activate True Light, and we will special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now in this situation, what we do is we basically had the same plan again. Chaos Form, ditch white, into Chaos. So now I'm set up with 2 polys in hand and a white stone. So then we will go to end phase. In your opponent's turn, we will go ahead and we'll activate True Light, and we will set Destined Rivals as well. The reason we do it like this is we want as many on the field as we can get. While we control Blue Eyes, Destined Rivals is active. So we've got our protection with Ultimate Creature. We've got our protection with Destined Rivals. And also Blue Eyes has protection from targeting effects through the True Light. So if anybody tries to hit him or tries to hit Chaos Max, we're definitely going to use this. Because more than likely they're going to leave Abyss. But Abyss does have an effect when we go to end phase here. Well, we should have activated it a long time ago. Because this right here is out of sequence. So just mind me for that. We're going to go ahead and add Deep Eyes. Because Abyss will add one every time we go to end phase. That's good. That's actually great. Because that's what we need. So we are trying to bait our opponent to pop either Abyss or Chaos. Now they have to swing over Chaos Max. But when they do, this trap is going to come active. And if they find a way to banish him, and then they go and swing at the other ones, first of all, we're going to hit the effects first, if it's necessary. But if they do destroy one, this guy's coming out. And this guy's going to do some major damage because of our graveyard. So we'll say that they don't decide to suicide and be stupid, and we draw for next turn. Alright. So then we activate the lovely fusion deployment. Retarget our twin burst. And we get into another blue eyes white dragon. How lovely. So again, that locks us into our fusions, and we will go ahead and we will fuse these two into twin burst. We do not have to use polymerization for twin burst. It is stated in his effect to send him to the graveyard, and it is counted. And then we will go ahead and we'll activate True Light, and we will bring blue eyes right back. And now for this, what we do is we're going to normal summon the White Stone of Ancients. And we don't have to get into the fusion deck because he's already in the graveyard, so he can come back and plot himself again. And then we can go to end phase because we really don't have to do anything at this point. And then when we do, Blue Eyes Solid's going to come back, and also Abyss Effect is going to activate, and instead of adding any other monster, we are going to add Blue Eyes Shining to our hand because we have that ability. And now you are set up for game, because what's going to happen here is they're going to try to go for that twin burst. But Solid and Abyss are easy targets, and we do have cards for them because we do control Blue Eyes White Dragon again. That's why you need him on the field. He has to keep popping on and off. So you need to protect True Light. I'm thinking about adding an Imperial Custom to this so that I don't lose that. Now, his effect will act. We're going to activate his effect as soon as they bring one out, because we're going to pop into the last Blue Eyes White Dragon that is in this deck right now. There we go. We're into another Blue Eyes White Dragon. There's a reason that we are doing this. And then our opponent goes to end phase, and we go to draw phase. We get into Nebula. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get in the Shining. So now we're going to banish one White Stone of Ancients, and we're going to add Blue Eyes White Dragon back to hand. On effect that this doesn't get negated. And then we're going to activate Polymerization. Sending all three Blue Eyes to the grave. We're going to get into Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then we're going to tribute the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and get into Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. Now, again, we still have this set. And even if we happen to use it, hold on, I'm going to go ahead and count how many dragons we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 5,100 any way you spell it. So Blue Eyes Shining is now on the field, and he is protected. If he is popped, we got our Blue Eyes monster getting ready to attack. Which I need a new sleeve for, because I just seen the whole back of it was getting ready to break. Which is fantastic. That's just what I want my cards to do. So now, what we can do is, in order for Dust and Rivals to go off, we activate True Light again. And our friend is back. For like the 6th time. So now you see my hand. We are setting very good. This is a Blue Eyes deck that many people question, and for good reason, because it will screw you in a hurry. Especially if you're not waiting for it. Now, if this board I probably wouldn't touch. If this board got popped, I would just go about my day because of all the Omni negates that I have set up here. So, very, very good. And if they try to pop it with a monster effect, that's why the Destined Rivals is there. You're wanting them to try to pop this card because they're not going to be able to pop it when you hit this. Now, if they MST, then that's another story. Another story for another time. But for now, you have seen me get 2 different boards. Very quickly, I might add. So now with all of that, as you see, very, very good outcome in a short amount of time. We are into 30 minutes into this video. And I think you guys will be very pleased at this point because both Deep Eyes and Shining are in the same deck and they are on my playmat, which is cool as all get out. Wednesday I will be taking this Blue Eyes deck down there, and then the Saturday I'll be using Blue Eyes as well. I normally alternate Blue Eyes and Drytron because they're both very, very good. They're both at the same level. They're both very hard to beat. But I do like to play with both of them, so I can't really decide which one I like more. But I do like my Blue Eyes deck. I got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I had to make sure. Losing count here. So with the opening draw, we get Blue Eyes Alternative, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, Fusion Deployment, White Stone, Destined Rivals, and Blue Eyes White Dragon. We're set up pretty good. There's not really much I can really complain about here. So, as you know, first of all, we are going to activate Fusion Deployment. The reason we do this first is in case if it gets negated. Again, we're going to target the Blue Eyes Twin. This is the first Blue Eyes card that is actually in my deck, and we're going to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, I hope you get used to him because he's going to be out a lot. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. So that's why we add Fusion Deployment, because that is very quick. So now what we're going to do is we are going to summon Blue Eyes Alternative. Hope you don't get used to saying that. Now what we are going to do is we're going to set Destined Rivals, and we're going to do our first normal summon, which is the White Stone of Ancients. We are going to leave our Blue Eyes Alternative, and we are going to go into Blue Eyes Spirit to stop that Tri-Brigade madness. We're going to stick him up here. You always want him in the extra monster zone. You never want him on the actual field itself because he will be popping on and off, and we need this for our Blue Eyes board because we will build the board. So go ahead and go to end phase. On end phase, our White Stone of Ancients will activate. And the monster that we are going to go for at this point in time is going to be again our Blue Eyes Abyss. We're going to add 2 monsters. Well, you're going to have 1 monster and 1 chaos form. We're going to have chaos form, and then we are going to add Deep Eyes. This is a very good combo because more than likely they're going to pop one, which is not the worst case in our scenario. We do a Blue Eyes White Dragon on, and we got Destined Rivals, so we sit up there pretty good. In turn, draw. Now we're going to add True Light, and we're going to do this very easily. We're going to activate Finger Machine Go. It's a 3 variation, so we are definitely getting our True Light. That is the guaranteed on that, which is why we run it as a 3, so we get the guaranteed pull. Because in this deck, every single card is dangerous. So now we're going to activate Chaos Form, ditching Blue Eyes White Dragon, getting into Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Now, for this, we still have Destined Rivals set, and now we have Deep Eyes in hand. This is very good. As you see, so far I have not bricked. For a deck that bricks, apparently. I don't know. I've never seen it. So then we go to end phase, activate True Light. And we're not going to summon Blue Eyes on this turn. Instead, what we are going to do is we are going to set our ultimate creature of destruction. Now, if you do not know what ultimate creature of destruction does, I'll go ahead and read it to you so you guys understand why it's so good and why you should have it in your deck. If you don't, I plan on trying to run 2 or 3 copies of this thing. It says target 1 Blue Eyes monster you control. This turn, the face-up monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, any opponent's monster it battles is destroyed at the end of the damage step. While this card is in your graveyard, if you normal or special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can activate this effect once per turn. So, it's a hard once per turn, but you only need it for 1 turn. And then once we use it, we can bring it right back. So then we'll go draw a face for our turn. Get into this. And what we are going to do is we're going to banish a white stone. We're going to add Blue Eyes. We are going to summon Alternative. And we're going to activate True Light and get into Blue Eyes. Bit overkill, right? No. Not at all. Because we're actually set up pretty good. So we won't have much to contest with here. Again, I've got both traps set. We go to draw next turn. And look what we're drawing to. Sage. Sage with eyes of blue. So what we are going to do is this is going to be a multi-combo. So we're going to go into Twin Burst. We are then going to activate the Sage on the Blue Eyes Alternative. We are going to get into our... Where are you at, Solid? There you are. Our Blue Eyes Solid. We're going to negate a monster's effect. And then to this, we are going to chain True Light. Special summoning Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then off of that effect, we're going to quick effect, throw Solid back in the deck, and we're going to get into another Blue Eyes White Dragon. And we still have Deep Eyes, and we got Destined Rivals, and we got Ultimate Creature Destruction. Then you do have some resources in your graveyard. But, with that being said, I think you guys might like this build a little bit better. Of course, it is running Deep Eyes, Abyss, and Max. Took out 2 tuners to add the 2 big boss monsters in this deck. Deep Eyes is very good. The reason it's very good is because of this effect right here. When a face-up Blue Eyes monster you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect. So let's say you have... Okay, apparently I don't have him in the graveyard. What? Okay, hang on, I'll fix this for you. So let's say I have Dragon Spirit of Light. Right? This card is always treated as a Blue Eyes card. So if it's a Blue Eyes monster, it's sent to the grave by a card effect or by battle. You can special summon this card right here. The best way to do this would be to send a Blue Eyes Alternative to the graveyard. Then, let's say Abyss gets popped. Then you go into Deep Eyes. Deep Eyes can target 1 dragon in the graveyard. We're going to target Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate. And he now has 4,500 attack. And then to this point, this is another one. For every dragon we have in the graveyard with different names. And currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 in the graveyard with different names. We inflict 600 damage for every dragon with different names. That is 2,400. So not only do you gain the 4,500, but also you inflict 2400, plus he gets 4500 attack. Not only to that effect, but if he is popped by a card effect, which is basically the only way you get around him at this point, unless if you can FTK right over him, he can destroy every single monster your opponent controls, which is a very good effect. It is a board wipe in itself, which is very good. The reason that we run Chaos Max is I have a lot of people that like to go in defense mode, and most cards like Drytron, when they go to defense mode, they have no attack at all, or no defense at all. So he does piercing. So if you set one in defense mode and I attack it with Blue Eyes Chaos Max, that's game automatically. It does double piercing. I don't know any way you could spell it, but double with Blue Eyes Chaos Max is about 8,000, and that's about all you get. So Chaos Max is very good for that. So I will continue to use Blue Eyes Chaos Max until I can't. This is all the time I have for the video today. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I thought I would go ahead and just do another one, just because the deck is just completely different. Like it's nowhere near the same. We're 2 weeks from Battle of Chaos, because I get 5 Battle of Chaos packs come day 1. I already had people say that they give me the Blue Eye support if I wanted it, because most of it's pretty cheap. So we've already looked at the pricings on them. So they done said that they would give me the Blue Eyes support, any Blue Eyes monster I needed if they pulled them. I was going to try to get 3 Tyrants D for this deck, 1 Apparition with Eyes of Blue. I need 1 Tyrant, maybe 2. I wouldn't care to have 2, just so I have the extra monster if needed. Because of course my opponent's banishing shit. Of course, I'm gonna need 2 Jet Dragons for this deck, and I think that's pretty much it. That's basically all the cards that I need for this Blue Eyes deck in order to make it top tier, and the way it is, it'll be great. Hopefully, praying they unban Max C. If they do, it will go in this deck as well. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I will not be making another Blue Eyes video until I get, my Battle of Chaos packs and all the different monsters in this deck. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the last update that I'm making until Battle of Chaos. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm Pierce Nation, and I will see you in the next video. Pierce Nation out.